This podcast is sponsored by Green Man Gaming. Green Man Gaming is a digital video game marketplace featuring thousands of titles ranging from new AAA releases to up-and-coming indie games. Purchase titles for several platforms, including Steam, Origin, Xbox One, PS4, and more. Throughout January, you can support this podcast by using offer code EverythingNoob20OF to save 20% off select PC titles on greenmangaming.com. That's offer code EverythingNoob20OF and save 20%. Some exclusions apply. See everythingnoob.com for details.
Straight from the realm of all things gaming, Everything Noob starts now.
Welcome to the Everything Noob podcast. Thank you for joining us live on twitch.tv/enoobs. I am Vortak. I make videos on YouTube sometimes, and I just started playing a new game, which we'll talk about later. Joining me this evening, Mr.
Gredlow!
Hey.
Oh, that was a little loud. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Dreadlow forgot his intro.
No, I
Oh,
I didn't forget. I didn't forget.
Anyway.
I didn't know what to say. I've started streaming again, so I'm your typical noob streamer. And, yeah, so that's basically all I've been doing. That's what I am. Streamer
That's
now,
his
I
being
guess.
now.
That's my stream and being
And
on Hitbox.
of course, last but not least,
I'm on Guild Wars 2 again.
Guild Wars 2?
Yep.
Jemmy's playing Guild Wars 2. Is it fun?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played it enough really to get back into it because Haller had bought his own copy finally, and it was late when we were playing, so we didn't play too long. And he's like, "I want you to create a new character and level with me." So they've changed some things though from when we were playing before. Like the combat system, you don't have to like equip your weapons to like learn the abilities. Just when you level up, you get them. Now, the abilities.
Oh, that's interesting.
I noticed that one. There was a couple of other differences.
That's helpful
But
because you
they're-
had to like just turn on the abilities. There was like really no point to it.
Yeah.
So
No, we're talking about when you equip weapons, so you'd have to have your sub-weapon, like swap them out to the guns or the knives or whatever, depending on your job class, to kind of get those different weapon skill abilities.
oh.
But not those skill points where you kind of like buy the like healing abilities or whatever.
Oh, I haven't really played it. It's been a while. I never even maxed out a character. I just kind of got over it. It just became kind of repetitive. Even though I raved about how different it was, it still became really repetitive.
Supposedly there's a rumor also that sometime later this year, closer to the end of the year, there'll be an expansion pack too.
Now they waited a while this time. Guild Wars 1 had like expansions out the wazoo. But we're not here to talk about Guild Wars, unfortunately, as much as I kind of want to check it out again. Tonight's theme, as we have a theme every week, tonight's theme is all about titles transferring to and from PC. In this particular case tonight, titles going from PC to console, which we're kind of seeing this a little bit here and there. Games that
kind
are
of a
coming
trend,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, like Grand Theft Auto is a great example. It came out for everything but PC at first, and then they're like, well, eventually maybe we'll do PC. We're not going to, but maybe, and now it's been announced and we're waiting on it. And now we're seeing PC games go, maybe we'll do console. And one great example that was just announced recently and is in beta right now is Smite actually going to Xbox One.
Really?
Yeah. Out of all the games.
That's interesting, yeah.
They're saying it's going to be like the first MOBA for consoles that actually works.
So then
I can see how that would work.
And then who's to follow? League of Legends, you know.
It's possible.
I don't think League of Legends would work on console though. I really
don't
don't.
Just
I
because
think
the
the way
top-down?
the top down and the controls, I think would be just too sluggish for the experience.
It makes sense because in Smite, if you've ever played Smite, you basically have kind of that World of Warcraft aspect where you're right behind the character, the camera, the third-person camera, and there's only like 4 attacks you can do. So you can map those very easily. Like your basic
with the
attack
keys,
would probably be
yeah.
a trigger, you know, your shoot arrows or punch or whatever it may be. And then the rest of your attacks could be mapped to like X, B, and Y. And there you go. Like, the controls would be simple enough to get down. So
Right.
I don't have an Xbox One. I can't really beta test this, but I've played Smite enough on PC to know that I agree. I think this could definitely work.
Yeah.
So
Well, I found an article from 2013. I don't know if this has happened, but they were talking about DayZ going to console. So
I heard about that
If
too
it-
No.
a while back.
As far as
Yeah.
I know, that has not happened.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see what this is going to do for the esports market on Twitch. I mean, obviously you can stream from your Xbox One, but are we going to have leagues that are separate now for Xbox
We have more
divisions and-
schools signing up for like the esports division with scholarships now. So yes, it's
I've been seeing, like, for instance, when you're watching streams with Minecraft, I've been seeing a lot of, the Xbox guys and then the PC guys. And so they actually have to put in their title which one they're doing. So
Yeah.
interesting.
That's definitely a thing. And people in chat are saying Minecraft and Terraria and Binding of Isaac Rebirth, like all these games started out on PC and turned into console titles as well.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy for these game developers who get, that whole extra audience who just refuses to be a PC, become PC gamers for one reason or another, whether or not they can afford it or they just love their consoles and they don't want to be bothered with a PC. That's a whole
Right.
giant niche crowd. I mean, that's crazy. I had for the longest time an Xbox, and that was my thing. I never played PC. And then after Minecraft, about that time was when I started to edge closer and closer to becoming a PC gamer and just not care about consoles. And now I still don't have an Xbox, but I've been playing PlayStation and Wii U from time to time, but most of my gaming is on PC.
I was going to say there's an article about from, what was it from? VG 24/7. And they basically made an article saying Xbox One developers can port Windows 8 games easily onto the console, says Microsoft. So it's something that obviously Xbox has been considering, and so yeah, we might be seeing a lot of that. Because
but
a
isn't
lot of
that always the case? Because it was always a Windows system.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that was,
maybe they
that
made
was,
it more portable, but it was always
well. I mean, because
easy.
some of your PC games are really, I mean, they need some really high-end graphics cards and things like that, and to just play it on an Xbox, with its limited, abilities. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Xbox One probably is up to par, but I mean, talking about Xbox 360, I don't think it was capable to play any of those PC games at that time. But now, with the next gen consoles, we're seeing a lot of games that are porting over to console. We used to see it the opposite way, and a lot of actually PC gamers have complained about it. They look at that and they go, these ports just don't work from console. And I see it too. I mean, I've played some games that you just cannot play on a PC with a keyboard. So this might be the next thing right now with the new
I see
consoles.
it as the opposite. I see games that when they were porting games years ago, like someone in chat just said The Sims. Great example of a game that just doesn't play well on a console. You need the keyboard and mouse for The Sims. I'm sorry, but I mean, maybe they did an okay job. I played it, I had some fun with it, but for the most part, I had a lot more fun playing The Sims on a PC environment with a keyboard and mouse.
Did either of you play StarCraft or on the console?
No.
No.
Yeah. Don't recommend that. I mean,
Command and Conquer on the N64 is as close as I got to that.
yeah.
I mean, there are some games that it would be kind of, unless you had access to the internet, like there are games that you have to go to like a web browser to look up information on to play the game. I wonder if I can do this, or like, I mean, some of your MMOs, for example, like, World of Warcraft. You're stuck on a quest or something, so you kind of go online to look it up to see if how you do it. Like little tips and tricks that you can look up on the internet, and it makes it kind of hard on a console. But with the Xbox One having like browser capabilities. I mean, it's basically a Windows 8 machine. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so it makes it a lot easier for those kind of games to be ported over to a console. So
I
who knows?
I don't know. We're in the age of smartphones and tablets, though. So I just feel like even without that, Xbox One could have lived without that feature. Because most people will just be like, I'm not like tabbing out of this. I'm just gonna like go over to my tablet or my phone here and just quick look it up. In fact, there's like tons of great like helper apps for those really popular games. It's insane. Like,
well, it's interesting
if you look, especially for MMOs and stuff.
You bring up tablets, but we had a PC game actually port over to a tablet, which was the Grand Theft Auto one.
Oh yes,
so I mean, yeah, you got that going on as well, and now Hearthstone. Hearthstone is now on Android market, but you have to have a 6-inch device to play it. As of now, they're going to be changing that. They're going to be making it so it's available to phones. So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Because I was pissed.
Phones
that
were
it
always
wasn't...
promised.
Yeah,
they just needed to tweak it, and Blizzard's slow as always.
There was another game recently I looked for. Oh, it was Papers, Please. That went to iPad. Yeah.
What?
I said
that game is so awesome.
I said, Papers, Please is on iPad. I'll get it on that. Because I didn't really see myself sitting in front of my computer playing that game. But on my phone, I can do that. So I look it up on the market. It's not for phones, only for iPad, which pissed me off. Because especially with the new iPhones being bigger, why do you think the iPad is the only thing that can run it? That's not fair. So
I can kind of see where they're coming at, having played the game on PC, why only on tablets, but at the same time, phones are...
That's like,
the style now is ridiculously large phones. You know, your iPhone 6 plus 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 plus.
Yeah.
But
it's like playing Flappy Bird on a PC. It just ain't gonna happen. So there's some games that you just can't do. You can't.
You know what?
That.
I bet there's people who would do that, and they would love it.
It was tweeted to me today, and IGN was talking about it. There's a Flappy Bird arcade console now.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's just like the Doodle Jump one. You seen that one?
No.
You know what? Doodle Jump makes more sense.
Flappy Bird's the same thing. You just have like one button to flap the bird. And
but you gotta realize those are the kind of, back in the day, those are the kind of games that were on those arcade consoles, was games like that, you know?
I wonder if
I guess
arcade games like more relevant now, like games like that, because I can see people gathering around your phone. If you're good at Flappy Bird and they're sitting there like, oh, you know, now they can stand around this arcade machine, you know, Flappy Bird's here. I'm really good. Check it out.
Well, why would you want to pay 50 cents to play it when you play it on your phone?
Well, yeah, I know, but it's just the experience of being in an arcade. Why even go to the arcade in the first place?
Oh, and you win tickets too, so I guess it matters.
Yeah, you win your stupid little prizes and crap.
Your
Chinese-made stuffed animals and your
the arcade's not coming back.
Yeah,
it's done.
Dave and Buster's. You ever been to a Dave and Buster's? Come on.
Oh my god, I love Dave and Buster's.
But the arcade is dead.
A couple of birthdays ago, I went to Dave.
Is dead,
but
really?
That's different. That's like for adults, because there's the whole restaurant side of things and all the alcohol and stuff like that. So it's different. The traditional arcade, you know, I think of like what is the Chuck E. Cheese and CC's Pizza and stuff like that. Everything is sticky, unexplainably. It's loud and obnoxiously colored.
Yeah.
There's flashing lights that don't make sense. And
crazy robots
not coming back.
Trying to attack you like Freddy's.
Oh, yeah. No. No one wants that experience to come back. And I think what has really taken the place of the modern arcade, where you would kind of like lean over somebody's shoulder while they're playing a game, is Twitch TV.
Yeah. You're right.
That's true.
That's what it is.
I want to see more tournaments, whether it be for console, PC, whatever. There was a game store that opened up in my town that has since closed down, in my old town. It opened up. They're a new chain. I'm just going to say it's Play and Trade. I don't know if you have any out there by you guys, but they're trying to compete with the likes of GameStop and stuff. But the cool thing about Play and Trade is they take every new copy of a game, and at least one copy they will have available for you to try. So let's say tomorrow the new Assassin's Creed comes out. if you want, they keep a copy on hand for you to try in the store before you buy it. And that was one thing I really liked about them. But this also this meant that the whole store was lined with televisions and consoles. And so when they weren't doing stuff like that, they would have tournaments. And I signed up for a few, like just for fun. Like it was cool because just people locally are coming to this tournament, and the prize is usually like store credit or something if you win. And ever since that place left, I haven't seen another one. And it's just sad because a place like that, I feel like is something that people can get behind, because there's not the tournaments, it seems, on Twitch are so exclusive. You know, if I want to get into esports, I can't be a casual gamer. I have to be really good at Smite or League of Legends or something. And, you know, it's hard to get involved anymore with something like that. But a local place doing that, I love that. If an arcade did it, or a place like, you know, like Play and Trade, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that would be. That's something that I've always wanted to actually have my own business in, something like that, like a what do you call it, an internet cafe type deal, but with PC games, you know.
Yeah, well, you
have everybody go, and then have tournaments, and then have these tournaments going on, and where people can be involved in that. It would bring a lot of people together, I think, in areas where they can't go to these places, like League of Legends has a tournament, but they have a place that people go to play it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have the online thing too, where people do online, but they do it from their home or whatever. But this way, people could get together.
It's crazy.
There's like full venues of that. So it'd be kind of nice if there was like little places where tournament players can come in and be involved in tournaments like that. So yeah, that would be cool. Hearthstone tournament.
Yeah, I
have a long way to go. I got a long way to go, but I love it. I'm so addicted to that game.
Start it up. You make one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
You can actually go and look into franchising opportunities with Play and Trade if they're still doing well, assumingly.
Yeah.
You can look into that though, because that's how these people got into it. They were just they ran a totally different business, and then they worked for something, I don't know, and then they found this Play and Trade thing, kind of fell into their lap. And they were telling about their experience getting it. And I mean, when you have a franchise, you have to put a lot down. But ultimately, they did it, and I just think they had too much competition around them in order to stay open, or I don't know. I never got to ask them what their reason was, if it was personal or if it was just the business wasn't doing great. Because they had mentioned something else about wanting to move at one point. I got really close to the owners, but yeah, places like that, I think, really need to focus. They didn't do enough tournaments, in my opinion. Places like that really need to focus in on the things that you just cannot do at home. The console gaming experience just doesn't allow. So I think the tournament was a great place to start.
Yeah, I just don't understand, because see, what do people have to do? I mean, like in my town, there's hardly anything. They just opened up a skating rink. Big deal. But I mean, there's nothing for people to go to anymore. It just seems like they've, I mean, you have to be, over 21 to actually even go to a bar. And it's like, why would you just want to sit at a bar? Let's do something, have fun. There's not enough of that going around anymore. It used to be where, I mean, everywhere I went, there was an arcade, and everybody flocked to the arcades, and when we had fun there, it was great. But for some reason, it isn't picking up. I don't know, it's just weird. That's why I thought, rather than having with the consoles inside of an arcade, having a PC environment where people can actually, play Steam games, and you can actually get an account through Steam that allows you to have multiple people sign on for places like internet cafes and stuff, and they have like an affiliate program and all that stuff. So that was one of the things I was thinking of doing, but yeah, I don't know. It takes a lot of money, so
yeah, any place like that, and it's like definitely something that could fail. I mean, if it fails, then you're out. So. It's crazy. I think that maybe as we see more MOBAs and stuff coming to consoles, we're going to maybe see the tournament thing broaden more. But ultimately, I'd like to see something local. That'd be awesome. Another little snippet I saw was that Nintendo was offering like a professional quote unquote tournament for Super Smash. That's pretty cool.
Oh wow,
Something they have in Mario Kart is you can sign up for online tournaments, but they're very casual. Like you can just jump in and play Mario Kart, and the tournament bracket makes no sense at all, and it's kind of, it's not poorly implemented. It works the way it's supposed to, but it's just kind of like not, there's no reward for winning. You play for an hour, people come and go, so the points get all screwed up, and it's just weird. If they did something like that for Super Smash, that would be awesome.
Well, that's the thing with tournaments. You see, you pay a fee to enter the tournament, and the proceeds from that fee go to a reward for the winner. Like, you could have 3 different prizes. Either cash or an Xbox One system, whatever, as a prize for winning the tournaments. And I don't see enough of that going on. So,
well, that costs money. It costs there's you have to pay people to head those events. You have to plan them. You have to promote them. It's a big deal. It's a lot of work. Tournaments and conventions and anything of that nature. It is a big deal.
Do you think?
Not to mention you have to have a place that hosts it that can house that many people as well.
Do you think we're just kind of going about it all wrong? Like with the way I've been seeing esports, and I don't follow esports. I don't claim to follow esports really at all. But I do appreciate them. I think it's awesome. When I do look on Twitch at something esports related, I always see them sitting at a desk, like a commentator's desk, like in football. Like the 2 guys are bantering back and forth. And
right, yeah.
In this one room, all these gamers are seated at PCs playing something, League of Legends, what have you. Do you think we're doing this all wrong? Like we can do the same thing without having a venue, without having people travel over Twitch, without the giant, like I said, without the giant venue.
Yeah.
You have one streamer, like as the host, your commentator banter guys, and they have a production team making sure the stream is looking good and whatever. That would be like your main expense, getting those people together in one place. But then you're switching between all these other people's streams of the games. You can do that.
I tell you, I was going to say, in America, we're kind of falling behind with that, because in Europe, it's a big thing. I mean, they've got bars dedicated to watching people play video games,
Holy crap.
And it's like, and you go into, and you've got a bar, instead of going in to watch a football game, you're watching somebody play League of Legends. So it's like, it's something that we are falling short. And I think your real sport, we're very sport driven here in America. We got baseball, football, we got, basketball. So, those are very important sports to everybody. And it wouldn't surprise me if that could be hindering us into getting an esports thing going. Could even be something that is controversial, where, maybe the actual sports people are the ones in charge are hindering us from doing that.
Nah.
I think it's because American teams for esports lose a lot. In fact, we don't win. And our culture kind of shames us into, like, you shouldn't be a professional video gamer in any sense. It's childish. We try to push it down in the earlier years if you play video games, and then you're only a mature adult when you're done playing video games.
Yeah, but it's okay to sit.
We don't want to reward that behavior because our culture deems it not okay.
No, instead you got 3 days out of the week, sometimes 4 days out of the week, where everybody's sitting from front of the tube for 4 hours and watches football and drinks beer. That's okay though. You know what I mean?
That's okay though.
That's okay to waste your time on that.
No one's defending that, like that mentality. That mentality.
It's just funny.
I think is dwindling away.
But it's true. She's right.
She's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the mentality. But I'm just saying. I'm saying about us Americans, how kind of twisted that is.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
It really, because the same person who's like, you're just gonna sit there and play video games all day, drinking a beer, watching football, as you're sitting there in the same room with your laptop playing a game. I mean, I see that.
Casino slots online.
It's crazy.
It's just ridiculous, and you're absolutely right. And what's funny is that you're sitting down and playing a game, exercising your mind, while the person watching football isn't exercising crap. They're just absorbing.
just depends on how into it they are. If they are into the fantasy football and stuff, then there's a lot of statistics and stuff that kind of go into it. So they're kind of thinking, but
I'm just saying,
like, if you're just kind of into it and you just watch, you're a passive observer.
You know how you run into a sports fan, and I'm not a big sports fan, so it makes me laugh when I hear people talking about football and talking about how we lost, we won, we did this wrong, we need to change that. And I'm just sitting there
Your team.
Yeah, who's we? You know? And these are the same people who would make fun of me for, say, playing Smite. And when I say we lost, I mean I was actually playing the game and I didn't do well and I lost. Not I was watching the game and this team I like lost. I lost.
Yeah.
I won.
Well, it's also it goes with it where, I mean, you got people who will watch a football game religiously and their team. And then when their team loses and is out of the playoffs, they pick a new team that they have to follow through the playoffs. It's like, well, and they're gung-ho about that team. And it's like, and that team could have even played their team and beat them. So now they're following. They got to root for somebody. I mean, it's like, if my team lost, that's it. Game over. I'm not going to watch any more football. That's my team. I'm not going to, you know.
You know what I really respect is the boiler runs.
You're not fair weathered. The what?
Yeah.
The boiler runs. And now there's more of them, too. If you don't know what that is, if you've ever heard the game Binding of Isaac, we mentioned it a second ago, it's basically a dungeon crawling game where if you die, you have to start all the way back over. And anything can happen. The runs are completely random every time. You get random items, random dungeons that generate every single time. So, but ultimately, the game is equal in the sense that the distance you go from start to finish in each floor is kind of determined by you. Like, you can run straight to the boss, or you can take your time killing things and trying to get all the power-ups and stuff you can. It's really fun to watch people race in Binding of Isaac. Like, just, you have a split screen of one person on the left, one person on the right, racing to the end and trying to beat the boss in Binding of Isaac. And it's cool, like, this person that goes by Crumps, he hosts the Boiler. And if you can sign up, even if you're bad at the game. I've done it once. It was really fun. You can sign up and just compete in this tournament. And if you win, you move on, and the winner gets bragging rights. That's it. That you don't get really anything else. But tons of people watch it. Like, he always has well over 1,000 viewers on his channel watching this, race. And he does it, I think, every week. Something crazy like that. And that's the kind of stuff I want to see more of. I love that.
Yeah, other games besides StarCraft 2 and League of Legends. Let's get some like Hearthstone is a great game for tournament play. I mean, seriously, it's like playing poker. It's just one of those games that's fun to watch. I mean, I love to watch, and if it's somebody I like I know, like there's this top player right now named Trump. If you watch him, I mean, he gives you some inside scoops on gameplay and stuff, and it's fun to watch them. And when you start rooting for somebody, you want them to win. You go, oh man, you just kind of like, it's kind of like, when you're watching football and you're watching your favorite team, kind of the same idea.
Except we just need more of that. One very personable person sitting there that you can actually like communicate with, which is so cool. Like, you can sit there and, I'm sure any sports fan can relate to this. Let's say you're watching your team and the quarterback just makes a total something, a mistake of some kind. I don't know football at all. Let's say the quarterback screws up royally, and you're sitting there screaming at your TV, "You idiot, you should have done this, you're a dumbass, I hate you, die." Or
he's never going to hear it.
Yeah, you could watch someone playing a game, and if they screw up, you get to yell at them in chat.
Yeah.
And they have a chance to actually read it. Or cool. If they're doing well and you want to root them on, like hopefully that's what you're doing and you're not being a total dick, but it works either way. And that, I love seeing stuff like that.
We need, on our cable TV, we need those kind of, like a network that's specifically dedicated to gaming like that.
ESPN Esports?
Yeah, something like that. That'd be cool.
No.
I think they did sort of have that in, what was it?
G4?
G4.
Yeah.
It might be because you can't communicate. Well, nobody would probably be into it if you can't communicate with the person that's actually playing. So that's why
it's
Twitch
free.
And Hitbox are probably.
If you're using the internet to watch it, it's more free than if you need a cable subscription.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying an internet subscription, but
And you can talk to like other people who are watching too.
Yeah. It becomes kind of like a book club for this live thing that's happening. Like, oh, did you see that? Oh, yeah, he messed up here. He should have done this instead.
I wonder if we'll like eventually see fantasy leagues for esports.
I think there are already those.
No way!
I don't know.
No way!
I can't be quoted on that,
crazy.
but I could have sworn I saw something.
You're kidding me.
Fantasy,
How does that even work?
I don't know. Like,
Fantasy League of Legends.
there's Fantasy LCS. Build a team, compete every week, be a part of the action. PvP.net.
Wow.
Oh,
You can
wow.
already do fantasy league esports.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw something. Esports.
Who is that for?
Ultra nerds. There are nerds who play
For
League
real?
of Legends, and then there are nerds who watch other people play League of Legends and determine.
And they want to fantasy play League of Legends. Or fantasy manage a League of Legends team, I guess.
Yeah, it's. I can't believe it exists, but it does.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
funny.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I knew someone was going to bring that up in a second. I'm like, I better find that link because.
You're a mind reader.
Yeah. So, yeah, tonight's theme is it's turned in from PC gaming ports to esports, but either way, I need to read this real quick.
Well, it rhymes. Ports and sports.
Ports and
you know.
sports. I need to read this real quick before we continue. This podcast is sponsored by our very first sponsor, Green Man Gaming. Big thanks to them for helping out and supporting the podcast. Green Man Gaming is a digital video game marketplace that features thousands of titles ranging from new AAA titles to up-and-coming indie games. With Green Man Gaming, you can purchase on several platforms as well, including Steam, Origin, Xbox One, PS4, and a few more, in fact. Throughout January, you can support us, this podcast, by using the offer code EverythingNoob20OF, and you can save 20% off select PC titles on greenmangaming.com. That code is EverythingNoob20OF. Save 20% on almost every PC game. I think there's some exclusions. Also, if you want to see those exclusions, everythingnoob.com, hit up the show notes. I screwed up the end there, but I was going to say some games to recommend would be Rising World.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
on there. I've been playing the crap out of Rising World, and people are loving it on my channel. So that game and more available greenmangaming.com. Go check that out.
Yeah.
So back to what we were talking about a second ago.
Green Man. Green.
No,
screen
no, we
man.
shouldn't go back to that. It's time to move on.
Oh.
We hit the low for esports.
Yeah.
Fantasy leagues.
How do we move to? That was weird. That was a weird transition.
Smite.
That was
Basically-
that was a Smite.
The news story was Smite coming to Xbox. Do you think, my big question about this is, do you think this is going to affect the Steam box in any way? Stuff like this, not just Smite. Smite isn't even on
Oh,
Steam.
you mean games porting from PC to console?
Yes. Do you think this could affect sales for the Steam box?
No.
No. Why not?
I think
Because I've seen like countless forum posts where people are like, when I have the option to buy it on a console or PC, hands down, I'm going to go and see if I can't buy it on Steam because I know they'll always host it for me.
here's the thing to consider. Okay, so Xbox and PlayStation have always been considered, a console that the majority of the people using it are younger, kids, children, whatever. And I really think that Xbox or Microsoft went the route with Xbox One mainly because it wanted to draw in more of an adult crowd. So it's lacking in adults, I think. And I think with PC, you got a lot more adults. Also, the actual idea of esports would be more accepted by adults than it would be by kids. So I'm with PC. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna affect PC that much.
I'm just like, I'm looking at the Steam box, and they're talking about, oh, we're gonna have our own standalone console, this, that, and the other. And I know for a fact that I don't want to buy an Xbox One because the only big game I'm really missing that I used to play a lot was Halo. And if I decide I don't want to play Halo anymore, I personally don't have a reason to get an Xbox One because all the games I need are already on my PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, like, okay, all right. I know MMOs, I mean, we were talking about games porting over to a console, and MMOs, I think it's a possibility. You know, like WoW going to a console, because Destiny is, if I'm not mistaken, is a massive player online game, right? That's on console.
Yes and no. Like,
I mean, there's more than 100 people online at the same time when you're playing it. It's not like, in other words, it's not like Halo where there was only a handful of players. How many? Like 4?
Oh yeah, like it's like games were 4 versus 4 on one map.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
exactly.
So you're saying it's
what I'm talking
more...
about, where you can have a mass amount of people online at the same time. The consoles really never had anything like that, and Destiny, I think, is opening the door for that to happen. So I think that would be a possible port. Maybe
when I
not
think about
WoW,
MMOs
but maybe
on console,
MMOs.
I think of them dumbed down.
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe they might make an MMO for console. I mean, Destiny is basically an MMO, pretty much.
It's as close. As we're
they already have some.
Yeah, but
I mean, all the Final Fantasy 11 and 14 are both on console.
Oh, are they?
And yeah,
awesome.
And
were they on the early Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and PS2 for 11. I swear there was another one.
Yeah, we're starting to see that too. Like that we're getting the ability to play MMOs on console, especially now, and even the previous gens had USB ports for keyboards and mice. And now those games are implementing the keyboard and mice kind of features. So if you already have a PlayStation, you'd rather just get the game on that, you can do that. And the one thing I like about Final Fantasy, even though I haven't played it, I like that, like, Jemmy could have it on her PlayStation 4. I could have it on my PC and play with her, which is super rare. Super rare for a game to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing, too.
All the servers were mixed. Well, that was one of the issues why they have not ported Final Fantasy 14 to the Xbox One. Because Xbox One wanted exclusive servers just for Xbox One players, and then they also wanted that you had to have an Xbox Live Gold account. And previously on the Xbox 360, they didn't have to have Gold at all to play online because it's a subscription-based service. And Square Enix was like, well, we don't want them to have to pay for another subscription to pay for this subscription. Jeez. So, okay, bye.
Yeah. That... I want to see more of that, though. I want to see more, like, Grand Theft Auto. It's going to come out for PC, and I'm not, I have it on PS4. I'm not going to be able to play with any PC friends unless I get it on PC.
We've talked about this before. Yeah. I mean, you got Linux, Mac, and PC. All those people can play the same game and be on the same server at the same time. Why can't you do that with console? There's got to be a way to do that. I'm not saying that there was always a way to do it, but I think now with the next-gen consoles, there should be a way to actually do that. To where you can actually play video games with your friends if you happen to have the game on PC and they happen to have, like Minecraft, for instance. Can you go onto a Xbox server or an Xbox game, a person's server from you can't, and I don't see why you can't. I don't understand.
It's probably
it's different.
More games.
It's made differently, different language, whatever. But
if they wanted to code it the same way, they probably could. They sell more games if they don't.
That's true too. Yeah.
I mean, now
people end up buying multiple copies of it.
Yeah, to play with all their friends. So it's in the game developer's best interest to be like, oh, we can't. I'm sorry, it's just not.
It's like Call of Duty. I've got Call of Duty Black Ops, which is pretty much obsolete now. But I mean, a lot of people actually like that better than the new one. But I've got that on PC, and it would be so cool to be able to play with my nephew who's got an Xbox. That would be awesome to be able to play. I mean, why can't I? It doesn't.
The issue there, though, is console users versus keyboard and mouse players, and there is an unfair advantage, even if you're bad at the game, for the keyboard and mouse users.
They could even put something in place where it locks you out unless you use a controller from the PC version.
Now they could do that.
Because I know you can use an Xbox controller for the PC version. So they could actually lock you out. Like if you're going to link to a server, you must use an Xbox controller to, you know what I mean? They could do something like that. Where it basically, locks up. But
I feel like that's opening the door for a lot of hacking and working around that with the keyboard and mouse to play with Xbox players so you can like really get your KD up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's something that we've fought with since like the PS2 era when online gaming was just becoming a thing.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's an issue that's ever going to go away. It's just when I'm seeing all these ports, I'm wondering, is this ever going to merge? Like that's why I brought up esports earlier. I wanted to say, are we ever going to see like the Xbox people wanting to play against the PC people without buying new equipment? It's just kind of a shame because that probably will never happen.
No, they'll never do that. They'll have separate leagues. But I also just thought about, what about in the integration with the console system? Because when you're playing with people on a server on like say Grand Theft Auto or Halo or whatever, you can like click your like users in the session and it'll link to their profile within the Xbox system and stuff. And I feel like that would kind of also be a problem there. Because like what do you put there? And then like the voice chat protocol, that's also another problem. And that's why we probably, at least not for a long time, we will not see like cross console servers or compatibility.
Yeah.
Because they would all of these companies would have to agree to work together and give each other their like handshakes and protocols to like converse with each other, and they'd all have to kind of agree maybe to agree to use the same ecosystem for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Why can't we have unity? Why can't we have unity?
Oh God. Your jokes are terrible.
Oh, I know.
Everyone has to have their monopoly and their own thing. their own little network for their own little club.
They gotta do their own thing.
So that's the other reason too. Everyone has their own little exclusive club. But before we jump any further into this, let's get into something I'm dying to talk about.
Awesome games you've probably never heard of. It's time for the Indie Spotlight.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. Jenny's shaking her head.
This game was so goofy.
Yes, it is.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
It is supreme, you might say. That's the title.
Oh my
game,
God!
that's the name
really?
of the game.
Face palmerific.
I'm sorry. It's literally called Supreme, and if anyone knows anything about me, they know that I spent the first 6 years of my working life working at a pizza shop as a delivery driver, as a cook, eventually managing it, and I worked my way up the little pizza ladder. And I know everything there is to know about, running a damn pizza shop. But I've never gotten to play a game about it. And so I'm playing this game on my channel right now. I can't recommend it more if you're looking for something casual. And what I'm pissed about is people in the reviews are like being really ruthless. Like, oh, well, this looks like crap and that doesn't work right and blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's
really?
still kind of, it still needs some updates and some bug fixes.
I thought the graphics, especially when you're in the create a pizza mode, are actually pretty adorable. And then I remember watching your video and you were like talking about it, because this is like my first look at this game was your like review video. And I was like, oh, the graphics are really cute, because I wasn't looking when I first hit play, because I was off in another window doing some research. And then I look back after like that little stent's done, and it goes to like the pizza shop view, where it's like this 3D rendered guy in a 3D rendered room, and he's like throwing the dough around and whatever. So it's not like the same graphics as in the pizza mode. And I'm like, that shop looks really dirty. Like, really dirty. Like Five Nights at Freddy's during the day dirty. Yeah. It was creepy and left a weird feeling, but the delivery mode seemed adorable.
The delivery mode, everything looks nice but the cars. The cars look really, really just phoned in, and the graphics around you are just really, really cool looking. Stuff like that. People compare it to a Flash game when you're in the pizza mode.
Yeah, that would be totally fair.
What I noticed about it is you remember the game Game Dev Tycoon?
Yes.
It reminds me of that in a sense where you start out with just like a shack.
Yep.
You know,
That's the
and
game,
then as you make pizzas and you get more reputation, you get more popular, you can grow your pizza company. You can hire
Does the shop
employees.
look nicer?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
You haven't
I'm
gotten that
trying
far.
not to play it off camera too much because I want it to be a surprise on camera. So I'm going to record a couple more episodes here before the week is over and get them out. It's the one thing about that game that I loved is what Dreadlow just said about the Game Dev Tycoon thing, but it takes like all sides of that. So you know how in Game Dev Tycoon, you literally just type the title of the game and you get the little guy to work on it and you just throw in whatever. In this, you get to like develop the pizza. You wouldn't want to actually code a game in Game Dev Tycoon, but you know what I mean. Like you make the pizza.
Right.
Then you deliver the pizza and you manage the shop yourself. Like you're in on the ground floor, you're front and center. And then as you keep growing, then you get to start managing out the stores, hiring employees. So it has like all sides of that. You get to manage the stores and be like an owner, a CEO, but then you can also get in there and make pizzas and go and deliver.
You get more toppings to put on the pizzas. And
Flip your car on the curb.
You've unlocked sausage.
Yeah, that's what happens. You just unlock stuff.
You can now put sausage on your toppings for your pizza.
It's a lot of fun, and it's just one thing. I keep telling people, don't take it so seriously. It's just a fun little casual game.
I can't believe people were ripping into that game. Like, I was like, it looks adorable, and if it's not done with development, like, it's well on its way to being a very solid game.
Yeah.
For what it's supposed to be, it's well on its way.
Yeah, someone in the comments, and you can probably find it because everyone keeps voting it up in the Steam reviews, someone said that they had like a Hollywood star visit their pizza shop, and they had the option to help them out because they were trying to hide from like a mob of fans. So you could help them out and let them hide for a bit, or you can kick them out. And the person said, I kicked them out, and they got torn to pieces by their fans.
Oh.
Whoa!
Like, wow.
That's morbid.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think of that as part of running a pizza shop, but I suppose it could happen. It's fun. I'm having fun with it. I'm going to post a video on everythingnoob.com, so be sure to check that out. And hopefully it does well. I can't talk about it enough. Anyway, I'm done talking about it. Let's move on.
Let's order pizza.
But we're done.
Makes me
I'm
hungry.
hungry,
No,
man.
no.
What the heck?
What?
Did you not have dinner yet?
No.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Go eat.
I usually
But
eat
you
after.
would be hungry.
Oh.
Oh.
The way I make pizzas in that game, you wouldn't be hungry. I deliberately.
Oh my gosh, you just like, they're like, I want a little bit of sauce and a little bit of cheese. That thing is covered and like thick. And I was like, yeah, he's going to get a bad review
You
on
had
that
one person accept your pizza order, and that was the one that wanted the extra pepperoni. And man, did you put extra pepperoni?
Yes.
That was a lot.
I said in the
Nobody
video
would
too,
ever do that in real life.
in real life, they had me do that with the pizzas that people wanted extra pepperoni. Literally,
No.
you layer it. It's disgusting.
I love it.
Wow, that's too much.
It is too much. But if you get tons of cheese on it, it kind of balances itself out
Yeah.
later.
That's true.
After you've digested it a bit,
No.
balances itself out.
I love like heavy toppinged pizza, but I do love a little variety. Banana peppers.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, banana peppers with yeah, that's good on a pizza. Those are very good.
The pizza podcast.
Now I'm getting hungry. Now I'm gonna have to order a pizza.
Mushrooms, pepperoni.
I unlocked mushrooms.
Did you?
Yes.
I'm waiting for the banana pepper upgrade.
I want to see what happens when you unlock the better cars, and because I ran over a curb and flipped.
Do you think that they get maybe like trainer wheels, like the bikes, so they don't flip over as much?
That'd be awesome. You should start on a bicycle. You shouldn't even have.
Yeah,
Maybe they get like those little triangles that you would put on the roof of like typical pizza delivery guys, so you get like a little advertisement on your car later on too.
Yeah, you do need to build a reputation. That might be one way to do it, because you buy upgrades. I don't know. The cars, I want to live in a world where a car is $100. That's what it takes to unlock the first vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for real. I'd love to live in that world.
It makes sense, though. That
Wait, though. Applying logic that we have, if a car is $100 in that world, how much are you earning hourly?
Actually,
it's like 1 cent an hour.
The pizzas are priced realistically. Like, I would see the price I'd get from that pizza and the tip, and I get like $20 for the pizza and a few dollars for my tip, and then the cars are $100. I'm like, this economy is all sorts of screwed up.
For real?
Unless you're buying
Pizza
a car
is
from like a
way
junkyard.
overpriced. If like cars are $100, they're disposable at that point.
Yeah, I would drive so irresponsibly. Who
that would
cares?
be crazy. I think that
Here's
it
my
would be
total,
cool.
and I'll just get another.
It would be cool to start on a bike.
Yes.
That should be the first thing you start on,
and
because
you have to balance all these pizzas.
yeah,
Why not like running shoes if we're gonna go there?
right.
You know what's interesting is when you're leaving,
Hand delivered pizzas.
when you're leaving your first shop, your car is parked outside of the culinary school, which is concerning because that kitchen is atrocious.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
I know. So dirty. You would get shut down in an instant if somebody walked in there from the health department.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like
Well, you
somebody
gotta
needs
keep-
some like 409 and some scrubbies. Cause
Well, in the game, you have to keep it clean, right? That's part of the thing.
well, yeah, but it's not visually clean.
No, it doesn't clean the shop at all. Like, you could hit
Oh,
the
it doesn't?
button for a clean shop, and you look at the shop, and it still looks grungy.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird.
Maybe
it's
they'll
just
fix that in the
upgrades.
future. I don't know. Like, I'd like to see the employees running around, flour flying everywhere and stuff, and then you got to clean, and then all that stuff becomes wiped away. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things it can do to improve, honestly, but it's worth it. I think it's $14 on Steam.
Oh, that's a really cute price for it.
Yeah, I think it's great. People are really mixed reviews right now, but hopefully we can change that. So check it out. And I just we're getting close to wrapping up the show here. Just to quickly put us back on track a little bit. Do you think you guys see yourselves getting into esports at all?
No.
Unless I was like, I felt really good at what I play, and I'm still not there.
Oh. Did you mean like as a
Yeah, as a
player or
viewer.
as a spectator?
Oh,
viewer.
as a viewer? Oh, yeah, I do it all the time on Twitch and Hitbox. I love
I just
watching those.
am not into spectator sports at all.
Oh, you're talking about video games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't watch League of Legends. I can't do that.
I can't watch League of Legends, but I've been like, I don't know. I've never.
I
Been a
like
sports
watching the
fan.
Bind of Isaac speed runs. Those are fun to watch because you're sitting there and especially when you see their face and how they're trying to, it's really cool to watch. And I love watching those. So yeah, I can see myself getting involved in that.
I don't
Definitely
know.
watching.
I haven't.
That would be
followed it.
something I'd watch.
I might start following Smite a little bit because I know the game. I'd like to learn more about it. I feel like that's a good way to learn, is like following it. And I don't know, you start watching someone. The one thing is like, how do you know who? And this is like with football teams, it's easy. It's like, oh, I'm a fan of the Broncos because I'm from Denver, so automatically like I love the Broncos. Generally, that's how it works. People who look more into it might have different opinions, but like for the average sports fan just getting into it, they're probably like, oh, I'll just root for this team. They're my home team. You don't really have that with Smite, do you? I mean, maybe the people talk about where they're from, but how do you pick?
I would assume
Who's
you
your-
would pick your country, like, first.
Start there.
You'd start there.
I don't know. Just your favorite
well-
player in general.
A lot of them have online presences now, though, too. Like, they don't just do the esports. So they'll have, like, a YouTube channel, or they will practice on a Twitch channel or something like that. So I guess, like, you would like, oh, they're American, so they're on the American team, so I'll go check them out. And I think you would just probably naturally fall in love with an individual player through that way.
Yeah. I'd rather just like have a friend that's already into it and then I can follow them.
I just don't see how you could really, like, if you were just watching like the spectator events, the tournaments, how you really could care for any player of the others.
And that's the thing. Like, I can't see myself getting into it because it's like, why do I care why that this guy who's good at a game,
they all have
how
intense stares. That's it.
Yeah. Why do I give a crap? Especially like esports people, I feel like there's probably a lot of them who aren't very social. And I'm used to watching streamers who are very like social with their chat, you know, and stuff. But when you're playing a game like that, you have to have laser focus. And you just happen to be live. And you're not concerned about that. You're not really reading chat or anything. So I just don't think it's the same thing. I personally don't think it's for me. But I just thought I'd ask because I know none of us really sit around watching it all the time.
See, the things that I like, for instance, on TV, sometimes I like to watch pool. You know, I know it's just, but it's a sport, right? And sometimes I love to watch some of these guys, you know, shoot the balls in weird ways, you know, bank shots and things like that. But I mean, video game wise, have you ever watched people play poker?
No.
I don't know what it is, but man, it's just really interesting to me. I just love to watch people play poker, especially when that one player, you can see his cards but nobody else's. You almost want to play for him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you should bet on that, or I mean, just things like that. I could see myself. I mean, I could see myself watching like Hearthstone or Binding of Isaac. I love watching that, watching people play against each other on that. So I'm totally the opposite of you guys.
Yeah, maybe
there's nothing wrong with that.
It depends on the person, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
I could see.
Depends
on the game. It depends on the game.
Yeah, that too. We are just about out of time, though. Any final thoughts?
No.
I'm
thought out.
Thought out?
I'm thoughted it out.
Got it.
I'm going to be possibly streaming in the next hour.
You just said you're thoughted it out, and now you're talking about streaming.
Oh, I just remembered right now.
Okay. Dreadlow streams on Hitbox. You should go check him out. What's your Dreadlow Gaming is your channel, correct?
Yeah, hitbox.tv/Dreadlow Gaming, or just go dreadlowgaming.com for everything.
There you go.
It's all right there.
Really?
It's on the player.me site. So all my links are in the top left corner. Hitbox is green.
What are you playing tonight?
Like Green Man.
You're playing like Green
I'm going to
Man.
probably be playing some Hearthstone because I'm really getting into that. I'm terrible. I'm a noob. That's why.
Wait. Can I ask you a question? Did you play Magic the Gathering ever?
Yes, I did.
Like in person?
In real life with cards, yes, back a long time ago in the 90s.
I was just curious because
I was totally into games like that.
Yeah,
so that's why I like
love 'em.
Hearthstone, and I also have all the Magic the Gatherings on PC too. But it's just not. Yeah, it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
No, it kind of ruins it for me, because of the fact that it is PC. But Hearthstone's a different story. It's meant for on PC.
Yeah, I actually found a game. It's like free. You can download it. It's the Pokemon trading card game, and it works a lot like Hearthstone, where you earn cards and build decks and stuff. But it runs like crap, and it sucks because I wish it ran better. I could totally get into that because it's a game I played as a kid. I understand it more. But Hearthstone is close. It's up there. It's one of those things I haven't carved out any time to really get into it. And I think part of the problem is like I play games like that with a friend. Like Smite I can get into because I can get a friend together and play it. But if I wanted to play with you, we'd be just, it'd be like you and me playing all night against each other. There'd be no one to team up against and try to beat.
Yeah.
Have you played like the official release of Scrolls? Can you compare that to Hearthstone?
Yes, I have. What I like about Scrolls is kind of it's kind of the same idea. Mm-hmm. It puts minions out on a table or whatever, but it's more like at that point it becomes a board game where it's or Plants versus Zombies. You could put like blockers in front of your character that does damage, and you try to you with your cards and with the actual minions, you try to shoot down their totems. They got like 4 or 5 totems behind them, and so you put all these things in front of the totems to keep them from getting damaged. And then you put blockers, you put different things. So it's a card game that becomes kind of like Plants vs. Zombies. They don't move. Well, actually, they can. I think some of them can move forward or whatever, but you can actually move your minions. But that's a little different than Hearthstone because of that aspect of it. Yeah. Hearthstone is kind of more like Magic the Gathering because you have so much, mana and so much hit points, and then your cards are dealt, and you try to kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got to wrap up, unfortunately. But Dreadlock, we wish you luck in your Hearthstone adventures. We will see you next week. Thank you for listening on Everything Noobs Twitch channel. Almost screwed that up. Twitch.tv/enoobs. More info for everything at everythingnoob.com.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Everything Noob podcast. Hit up everythingnoob.com for our show notes, blogs, YouTube and Twitch channels, previous episodes, and even a t-shirt store. Please game responsibly, and we'll see you next week.